So we're doing a little thing called Drinking and Driving. We're playing GTA 5. That's some flat fucking coke. By the way, guys, don't mix whiskey and flat coke because it doesn't taste too good. Actually, let's go ahead and take the bike. Alright, so the reason I called it Drinking and Driving, just so all of you know, is, well, I mean, I'm going to be driving in GTA. Pretty much just doing random stuff, mostly driving so I get from point A to point B. And I'm going to be drinking in real life. So we'll see how my gameplay experience goes when I go from drinking. Sorry, I'm getting distracted already. I'm trying to make sure my audio is not too loud for YouTube's sake. There, yeah, that's kind of alright. About here. There you go. But anyways, so I'm gonna be drinking. If you guys want to know, I'm drinking Fireball whiskey and flat Coke. It's the last of my Coke, so when I run out, I'm just gonna be taking periodical shots of Fireball. Which, for all of you that don't drink or just don't know what Fireball is, it is a cinnamon whiskey. The reason I picked Fireball is because it's cheap. I also drank this when I was doing my Fortnite live stream, which that was pretty entertaining. Alright, time for another drink. But yeah, guys, for all of you that are watching live or watching, if this comes out on YouTube, depending on if it records properly, please take alcohol very seriously. Okay, I'm not sitting here abusing alcohol. I just have the day off, and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and drink. Why the fuck is my mic audio so... Okay, it's not anymore. What the hell? Alright, but anyways, it's just me, actually. I'm just screaming a little too loud. There we go. Yep, that's perfect. Alright, but anyways, this also isn't to show you, like, the effects of drinking alcohol and, like, what it can do to you. Because I am not a doctor. I cannot, you know, really say what alcohol does to your liver and your kidneys and shit. But I can, however, say, please drink responsibly. And make sure you are of legal drinking age. Alright, now with that being said, and my ass being saved, so I did make sure people do know to take alcohol seriously. This is a message for all the parents out there. What the hell? I got me a nice car, man. Alright, but anyways, just to let the parents... Oh, you know.
That hurt. Crap, no, what fuck?
Why did I pick the sniper? Alright, do I get to keep the car now? Well, if I can find the fucking car. Move your ass! Never mind, you don't have to move your ass. Apparently I can teleport. But yeah, like I was saying, to all the parents that are watching this or watch like when it happens or after the fact or whatever, just remember, okay, it is not my responsibility to parent your kids. So if your kid goes and steals some of your booze and gets drunk, that's not my fault. That's poor parenting's fault. Why is Los Santos Custom closed? Okay, I'll come back later, I guess. Son of a bitch. Alright, I think we're safe right now. Let's go ahead and take a cheers to that. Nothing like some good old Fireball whiskey and flat Coke, I guess.
Oh man, this isn't happening.
I honestly don't know what I'm supposed to do with this car. Well, it doesn't matter now. It's mine.
What brings you in today?
My repair was free. Let's go ahead and add 100% armor.
From 60 to 0 in like 2 seconds.
What is the secondary color? Like, where's that at? Oh, okay. Now I see it. So we're going to, because his color is green, we're going to do a racing green.
It'll be like driving on velvet.
I don't know if that's good or not. Like, why would I want to drive on velvet? Like red velvet? Because that's delicious.
Can't go wrong with a little extra under the hood.
Well, I mean, you can. We need some... I'm gonna take these. Alright, they're bulletproof, tire smoke. Oh, there it is. Green tire smoke. Alright, now with all this being said, this is our new pride and joy. We're going to be driving the shit out of this car. Oh god, you feel how smooth that is? Maybe only I do, but that is a smooth, like it doesn't, like one thing I've noticed with GTA 5 games is like and even this is a big problem on Saints Row, is like you hold down like on the gas and it's like it instantly jumps up in speed. This, it's more, it does jump like a good bit, but it does it at like a gradual rate, so it feels like you're actually going that speed. And I do like how they make like the different terrain, you know, make you feel like you're going faster or slower depending on what terrain. Like, I'm over here driving as fast as I can on the sand, and it's like slowing me down quite a bit compared to pavement, which I'm not even driving as fast as I can. Now, I may not be an expert when it comes to, for instance, cars, and that's due to the fact that I don't drive, but I do know the science behind basically increasing speed and what a car's wheels have depending on the surface tension of what it's driving on. So I know if you drive on something very loose and very bumpy like gravel or sand or dirt, it's going to slow your car down and make it harder for you to make sharp turns compared to if you're driving on something like concrete or asphalt. I mean, that's why for like NASCAR and other racing events, you mostly see them, unless the car is built for it, you mostly see them driving on asphalt. But let's be honest, if you had like a entire arena designed for like racing and you wanted to do something like, I don't know, a race, for example, with like, you know, muscle cars or high-end sports cars, and you were like, you know what, we need to think of a cheap type of road that will make this interesting. The cheapest thing you can make it is dirt.
That's dumb luck.
I mean,
right there.
people go like, yeah, asphalt's pretty cheap, but I mean, if you compare it to something like dirt, no, it's not. Asphalt's cheap when you want like a smooth surface. But if you want really something like just naturally cheap, no matter what the surface tension is, you would have to go with like dirt. But then again, a lot of people's cars aren't made for high speeds on dirt, so you would be pretty much just dooming everybody. Alright, well, that was a long-winded explanation. Let's go ahead and drink some more. God, I can't believe I just had to kill like 6 or 7 people for this car. And it was like right near the Los Santos Custom. You know what? I'm going to complain about Los Santos Customs right now. Okay, so so for all of us that, you know, are a fan of Grand Theft Auto games and like the whole open world thing, well, I mean, minus the earlier games where we had to unlock areas, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. You still had like quite a bit to work with. One of the things that we're used to is something called a pay and spray. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the idea of being able to customize a car and everything, but I feel like I just customize every single car the same way. I mean, with some mild tweaks here and there. So, like, I'm playing on the story, for example, so depending on who I'm playing as depends on the secondary color, because pretty much, like, their main color is just going to be chrome. Their secondary color is going to be whatever color distinguishes them from the others. So, like, Franklin's green, Michael's blue, and then I think Trevor I decided to put red because orange is just ugly compared to chrome. There's a lot more red options than orange. What I really loved about the Pay and Spray was, like, compared to Los Santos Customs, was it didn't matter what you were doing. It's like if you drove into the Pay and Spray, it's like you spent $1,000, you got your car spray painted to a random color, unless you picked like a taxi, then it'd just stay yellow. And sometimes like that random color would be the same color that it currently is, which was really nice because it was like most of the time I spent going in the Pay and Spray to get the color that I liked. And if the car already has the color I like, then I don't want to get it spray painted and change that color. The thing is, it would fix it, it would spray it, and you would also lose your wanted level. Which here, not really. And if you spend long enough in there, then yeah. Which you don't have to spend that long in there to get the cops off you completely. But if you don't spend that long at all, like let's say you're in there, you respray it like real quick, and then you leave, there's still a good chance that the cops are still on you. God, I love this car so much. I'm going to go ahead and take this back to the safe house. And have me another drink. Oh. This can't be called drinking and driving without me actually, you know, drinking some booze. Okay, I won't be honest, I'm like absolutely trying to focus on this so I don't wreck. It's not that I'm drunk, it's that it's like I'm at the point where I realize that I'm not entirely sober, so I need to kind of focus on what I'm doing. So I don't really mess up and do a lot of wrecking. But I think that's the whole reason why I started this, was more of like just because I wanted to drink. I want to play video games. I love playing video games when I'm drunk. I'm telling you that now. And if you're of legal drinking age and you don't know what it feels like to play a game that's like very sophisticated or has like a lot of high-end graphics, drunk, you really don't know what you're actually missing out on. Like, cause I watched a drunk Mario Sunshine Let's Play, and I mean, just watching them like forget things and stumble into everything and be confused. It also really showed them like how much, like, not only that, but like they also really showed how much like they got wrapped up into the game itself. Alright, well, I'm gonna call me a nice cab.
Can I get a cab out to me?
Stay where you are. I got a driver right around the corner.
All right, thanks.
He always seems to have like a cab like right around the corner. Like, does every corner he have like a cab parked at? Now you may be asking, why have I called a cab? Well, I'm going to fucking hijack it.
Nobody needs to get hurt, all right?
All right. Oh.
Any jobs I can pick up?
Perfect timing. I got a customer for you right now.
You can get that one to me.
Alright, I decided, like, you know, why not just...
They're right around the corner from you.
They sure are. Like, one of the things that I love about, like, well, any Grand Theft Auto game, you steal a vehicle, like a taxi, fire truck, police car, ambulance, you can turn on, like, a certain mode. This was, like, popular, like, made popular in San Andreas, where all you had to do was honk, and you would get jobs based on that thing, and you'd actually start, like, an entire mini game for it.
Taxi! Let's go, please.
Alright, so we gotta drive to the destination. But yeah, like, this was something, like, in between missions, if you just need, like, a little bit more money, just so you can get, like, I don't know, some body armor or whatever. Which, I mean, you didn't really need. You could... There are places that if you played the game long enough, you memorized where the body armor was and where the health was. And then for, like, guns and stuff, you go to... This was, like, early GTA, though. You go to, like, your safe house. There'd be your garage where you parked your car. Or if you were smart, you parked two. Because the game recognized the entire car as like a safe area. But if you were smart enough to park two in there, then you got off lucky. Because it would save both the cars. So one of the cars would be you're just driving around having fun car. And the other one was, you know, get from point A to point B real quick. Also, there would be weapons and stuff that you unlocked. So once you run into it, you collect the ammo and stuff. Now, depending on what GTA it was, like for instance, GTA 3, you had to have, you had to collect packages. Which is really cool because they were scattered all over the entire map. So you actually had to play the story to collect all of them. And you'd also get like $1,000 for each. And then once you collect, I think, every 10, you'd get a sweet prize. I think it was like either a weapon at your place, health, which would permanently stay there. All you had to do is run into it and you collect it. But yeah. It was like it gave you something else to do in the free time. And it also gave you a real reason to explore the map. Like, this map, yeah, is huge. But what does it give you for exploring it? It gives you an achievement for unlocking the entire map. But all you can do that at the beginning.
Thanks.
Okay, so I got $188, $29 in tips, so I got $217. Alright, let's go ahead and go to the waypoint. I wish I had like a set of like rules
New
for.
pickup. Who wants it? First come, first serve.
I don't want it. Alright. Another drink? I did read like an article a while back that different companies are actually using Grand Theft Auto to teach a program basically like how to drive, and it's a way to do like self-driving cars and stuff. Now you may be going, oh, well, that's stupid, but I mean they're like, you know, using it to teach it, you know, what a stoplight is, what a basically traffic lights in general, pedestrians. You
Anybody
see
out there good for pickup?
these different arrows and shit. Yeah, it's pretty much that. These lines right here. I mean, and it's a really good way to teach it really quick, because stuff like this would take forever, because you'd have to use pictures, and then you have to make sure that the program knows what each picture is. So for like instance, let's say you showed a picture of, you know, a stoplight and you know, a go light. Well, so a red light and a green light. Well, I'd have to be able to distinguish which one is stop and which one is go. And it has to do it at an incredible speed, faster than a human can do it. So it would be given, like, I believe either a few 100,000 or a few million different photos showing different types of traffic lights that are either stop or go. Then it also has to learn, you know, what does yield mean. And then basically it has to learn to sort all the stuff, and then you basically take the better ones and then keep going through the entire process until it learns everything that it needs. It won't know what an actual stoplight is, and it won't know what a red light is, and it won't know what a green light is. But it will know that at the red light it's supposed to stop, and at the green light it's good to go. But it won't know why. And it won't know how it knows. It's just something that it was taught, quote unquote taught. Which I find very interesting. I find learning about like AIs very, very interesting. Because you gotta think of all that it can do for us. Think about in the future where AI can actually perform like in-depth like surgeries that are too difficult for a human, that can actually save lives. I mean, I know it's one of those things that it would take, you know, decades, even centuries to create. But with how fast that we've been able to obtain, you know, different things based on pretty much anything, like for instance, using chemistry to make plant burgers that taste like actual burgers, is still very impressive. And by the way, the only reason I use that as an example is because I am a vegetarian. I used to eat meat all the time, but I actually switched a little while back, I think about a week ago, to a vegetarian diet. Now, for all of you that may be like, you know, wondering, you know, like what's a vegetarian diet compared to like a meat-based diet, like how are you getting all your protein and stuff? There's a lot of protein in different things like nuts, beans, and I mean, I was afraid of not getting a lot of protein in my diet since I completely cut out meat all at once. But I also take like I take multivitamins every day. I think I probably take about 8 or so, and they're all different. I mean, it's not like I'm taking the same one. To get all the vitamins that I would have been cutting out. This is just temporary until I can find out, until I get like a good steady diet that gives me all the vitamins that I need. And then I drink protein shakes with my meals, which eventually when I realize the perfect stuff to give me the protein that I need, I'll probably just have that as like, you know, one protein shake a day, not a protein shake with a meal. And all these stuff is like hit and miss. When you change your diet, you gotta really think about it. And you gotta know like everything is pretty much just trial and error. Because you don't want to be malnourished. Trust me, I did a 7-day vegan challenge a while back, and I found myself being malnourished really quick into that diet. Like, doing stuff like walking from my bedroom to my living room would actually take me out of breath. And I originally chopped that up to being like, oh, well, maybe it's just because, you know, I was a heavy smoker at the time. But I think it was more due to the fact that I wasn't getting the proper protein, the vitamins that I needed, and I was just malnourished. For whoever's listening to me basically talk about my vegetarian lifestyle and me being vegan for 7 days, I'm cheering to you guys.
Look at that.
Hit me up on Life Invader later.
Because pretty much just listening to me talk about this stuff, a lot of people don't do. Like, people at work will ask me questions, you know. It's like, oh, it's like, how you doing on your whole vegetarian thing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. But they don't really go in depth and ask me like the actual questions, like, you know, how are you getting your protein? What about your vitamins that you're missing out on? Like, I mean, yeah, I get a lot of vitamins from like fruits and vegetables that I eat. Oh, and for all you guys that, you know, love meat, I'm not saying, you know, cut out meat. I'm cutting out meat because of multiple reasons. One, I want to do it for my health. I'm not saying that meat is bad. I'm just saying, like, for instance, red meat can be pretty bad. It has like high levels of cholesterol, which I do know that cholesterol is needed, but I also come from a family with, like, you know, bad heart problems, bad drinking problems, but I'm kind of ignoring that one. and ignoring what I'm doing. But I kind of want to, and also because I see a doctor once a year for my seizures, and my blood pressure has been pretty high, my pulse has been pretty high, well, my heart rate's been pretty high, I mean, and my cholesterol has been decently high, so I'm like, I'm gonna cut out some cholesterol, see how I feel. And for about a week with cutting out like a lot of cholesterol, it has gone down quite a bit, and I feel a lot better. And I've also found other alternatives that I can use for beef, other than like say like the Beyond Beef Burger, or the Impossible Burger, which by the way is really good. It actually does taste like meat. And for all of you that don't believe me, go to like Burger King, get an Impossible Whopper. It tastes like a real Whopper. White Castle has Impossible Sliders, and Qdoba. By the way, these are just restaurants that I have here in the city that I live in. They have the Impossible meat, which tastes like, you know, ground beef on basically a really good fucking burrito. Now, it is a little bit more expensive, but it shows you that I want to follow this. We're coming a long way in finding out about plant-based alternatives. And if you want to know like a good way to substitute like ground beef or something, go ahead and make like tacos with like beans. I would not prefer pinto beans. I'd say use like black beans or refried beans.
Officers report a 505 near Santos International Airport.
Just what I need.
But yeah. And then, let's say you want lasagna one day. Do just a cheese lasagna.
Suspect doing 60 miles per hour. Black sports car.
You can do the same thing with ravioli. You can do like a 4-cheese ravioli. If you don't make like your homemade ravioli, store-bought ravioli that are just like cheese-based, really good too. If you do make your own ravioli and you do your own base, like your own cheese, the cheese that I would recommend is like mozzarella, provolone, cheddar, and mascarpone. Those are really good cheeses that do blend well together. And also, for all of you guys that are even thinking about going on a diet because of any reason whatsoever, I want you guys to know one thing. Being super strict on the diet isn't going to make it work any better, okay? Have one day out of the week where it's a cheat day. Like, for instance, me, I say my diet consists of obviously my vegetarian lifestyle, but I don't have any dessert unless the dessert is sugar-free, so like it contains like just basically like fruits and stuff. So I have like a fruit-based diet, like a fruit-based dessert, I mean. Sorry. The fruit-based dessert is really good. Because a cup of fruit is like really sweet and everything, and it has like natural sugars, which is better than, you know, obviously your artificial sugars.
Oh shit.
But if I'm talking about like actual desserts, it's only one day out of the week. I do make exceptions to the rule. Like, let's say it's like a holiday or a birthday or something, then I will have me a dessert Only if they ask me. So pretty much like, I'll have my main meal and everything,
Well, fuck this.
and let's say it's either my cheat day or something. Let's say it's my cheat day. I'll have me one dessert. So it'll be like one slice of pie or one slice of cake, unless it's like a holiday or a birthday. Well, then I won't have it unless somebody asks me, and then I can only have one. So let's say it's like Thanksgiving and people ask me, it's like, hey, you want any pie? Well, think of all the pie options that we have. My mom does a chocolate pie, a peanut butter pie, there's always pumpkin pie. So, what kind of pie do I want? I only get one slice. And I'm not going to make it like a big slice, I'm going to make it like a reasonable size slice. So that cheat day and then exceptions to it is very important because it gives you a reason to stick to your diet, and it also gives you that one day out of the week and a couple days out of the year for you to just go ahead and break that rule and just pretty much enjoy the time that you have with friends and family. Because if we're going to be honest, what's more important, having a nice dessert and talking and laughing with friends and family, or being super strict with your diet and watching everybody else eat like a slice of cake or a slice of pie and laughing and having fun on like a birthday or a holiday, and then you're just sitting there just like a glump? Alright, we talked about desserts for long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and take a drink and we're going to change the subject. Alright, so the whiskey is actually starting to hit me real well. Because I cannot read what that sign said. Oh my god. I'm basically just trying to pay attention to the map. Oh, and for all of you that are actually thinking about switching to a... I know I said I was going to end it already, but I do have one thing to say. For all of you guys that are actually thinking about switching to like a vegetarian or a vegan style diet, I want you guys to go ahead and, before you make that decision, look at what you have around you. Okay, because I did my research before I switched to a vegetarian diet, and I looked at what I have available. I found places where I can go and get vegetarian-based food for a decent price. I also tried buying some ahead of time before I switched to see, you know, what would I like, what would I not like. Now, the reason I did this was because I watched Jaden Animations and The Odd Ones Out doing a collab video talking about like where Jaden talks about her her 7-day vegan challenge. Which she went vegan, by the way. And they actually, at the end of one of her videos, make some food, some like actual vegan food, and they try it and taste it, and even try like vegan milk.
That's a hell of a ride.
Now there was some food that they didn't like, but most of the food they did like But you guys also have to remember that when it comes to stuff like that, like, you know, stuff that they like, that's all based on personal opinion. Because there are things that I know that I like that you probably won't like. Like, one of the things that I used to eat all the time was potted meat and Spam. Which a lot of people don't like, which I was actually surprised to find out.
Don't go ruining my work playing backseat twister.
Now, it's not because I ate it when I was growing up. I actually ate it later on in life.
Now you've got some juice.
I started eating Spam and potted meat 2 years ago. So when I was 22 is when I started eating Spam and potted meat. And I actually liked it. But I also found out that, you know, a lot of people don't like basically certain things just because of, like, taste or texture or shit. And I get that, okay? I mean, I want to be honest, I don't like macaroni and cheese because of the texture. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is, like, if you're going to switch to, like, a diet like that, before you actually make the official switch, go ahead and buy some vegetarian stuff, buy some vegan stuff, find out what you like, and then basically wrap your diet around that. You know, if you like a good, you know, vegetarian burger, then, you know, anytime you want a burger, go ahead and buy a vegetarian burger. It's like, don't switch to something and then start buying food that you don't like. Because me, I did a taste test of everything before I switched. Fuck. That's my only bit of advice for all you people that think about switching. And we're going to switch topics, and I'm going to have me a shot. Because, by the way, I ran out of Fireball and Coke. So I made sure, because I had like a very little bit of Coke left, I decided to get me a shot glass. I know you guys can't see it, but it is a... it's one of the tiki ones from a Loot Crate a while back. And it is... Who the fuck is it? Donatello. So it's like a tiki shot glass of Donatello. Which I thought this was appropriate because my dad's favorite Ninja Turtle growing up was Donatello. Fuck. Well, not growing up, when I was growing up. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I just dropped the lid. And we had this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game for the GameCube. And he would always play as, like, Donatello. It was like a 2-player game. I don't remember who I played at. I think I played as, like, Leonardo or Michelangelo. Ugh. But anyways. Yeah, he played. It was also a pretty good game. A lot of people don't like it for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was alright.
There's a car right here.
It was for the GameCube, and it was only a 2-player game, but eh. I mean, it worked for me and my brother because me and him played it a lot. And my sisters didn't like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My dad did, but he was always working. I miss my dad. He died like 13 years ago, almost 14. And he was like a big inspiration on my life. Like, he got me into playing video games as like when I was like a little kid. And I mean, I know I don't do it as like a career, but I still do it as like a hobby in my free time. Because I love playing video games. And if it wasn't for him, I probably would have never got into playing video games. Now, the reason why I say that is because only one friend I, grew up and hung out with actually liked playing video games. But most of the time, we played wrestling on his trampoline, which was pretty much just where we beat the shit out of each other on a trampoline. This was back during like a really good age of WWE. People go, oh, the Attitude Era was the best. But in my opinion, it was the Ruthless Aggression Era. Because it felt like everything was more personal. But yeah. And we always like wrestled and shit. I mean, we did play video games and stuff, but that was because we both had the interest in it. If we didn't, then we would be doing other stuff. He was also a pretty... My neighbor was also a pretty big influence on my life. If it wasn't for him, there would have been a lot of things that I would have discovered about myself. Like hobbies. Like different hobbies and stuff, different interests. He also got me into like X-Men movies. I mean, my dad loved X-Men and stuff, but he was more of a Superman fan. So we watched a lot of Superman, Batman, and stuff like that. But when it came to like X-Men, I really watched all my X-Men movies over there at his place. Then I had a friend of mine that I met in like 5th grade. So, this is what I want to tell you guys, okay? Don't base somebody's appearance or, well, anything on what you see, smell, notice, anything. Doesn't matter. Because you don't know what they're like. I didn't want to sit next to this guy because he was big and he kind of smelled like a farm, which makes sense because he lives on a farm. But this time I didn't know this. And because I was the only seat available, I sat next to him. Me and him actually started talking and everything. We started talking about like wrestling and stuff, and we actually became like really good friends. And even when there were no seats, like, even when there were a bunch of seats available, I mean, on the bus, like, I would still sit next to him. And let's say that there were, I got there before he did, and I would sit down on the bus. He would sit next to me because we would just keep talking and everything. I would pretty much just save him a seat so we can talk about stuff. At first, I didn't want to sit next to him. But once I actually had to, because there was no seats available, I found out me and him had a lot more in common than I originally thought. and I would actually spend time over at his place. Like, he would spend the night over at my place, I'd spend the night over at his place. His family would actually get to like me because there have been days where I would go over there, spend the night at his place, and they originally said no because he had a lot of chores to do the next day, and I'd be like, well, I mean, I can help him out with his chores, I don't care. And I would actually help work on the farm, and his parents actually appreciated that even though I didn't have to, I put all my hard work and dedication into helping him on his chores, making sure that they were right and everything, even though that wasn't my job. And not only did, you know, me and him grow a huge friendship based on common interests and also me helping him out on his farm, but his parents grew to like me because I really just cared about our friendship, and even if I had to help out on their farm to basically spend time with him and enjoy our friendship, they really appreciated that. Like, I remember a while back, this is one thing because his dad never talked to me every time I showed up. But one day his dad, after I got done helping him with all his chores and everything, he came up and he said that he said for being a city slicker, I did really good work. Which was apparently like his way of basically telling me that, you know, I did an amazing job. Like, an amazing fucking job. And for a guy that went from not talking to me to basically saying, hey, you actually care about what you do, it's like, and you're doing this for free, it's like, thank you, man, you did a really good job. So lesson learned, sit next to anybody on the fucking bus. You don't know who you're gonna talk to, you don't know if you're gonna like them or not. Unless you're in New York, because I found a lot of time people on buses, they're kind of assholes because they don't like riding the bus. I guess that's just public transportation entirely. And it just has nothing to do with New York. I don't know. Oh, and if you guys are ever wondering about any, like, shows that you should watch, I found this really good show a while back, a long time ago. It's called Bar Rescue. It's where John Taffer, a bar expert, goes to failing bars and fixes them up. Or tries to. I mean, if the owners are too stubborn and everything to actually listen to what he has to say, he won't help them. Because he's not going to put his name on the line to help a bar fail and just ruin his credibility. But yeah, it's a really good show. I recommend it. 10 out of 10. In my opinion, it's better than Kitchen Nightmares. Because I can only remember one instance where Gordon Ramsay actually walked out of helping a restaurant. But there were 5 times. Well, I went back and I actually watched, like, you know, top 5 walkouts. He actually had like 5 times where he walked out at the least. Because the owners didn't want to listen to the rules, or were just too stubborn. I know I'm just like... Okay, here. Hold on, guys. Just give me one moment. I'm gonna be right back. I need to get me, like, something real quick. Alright, sorry guys, I'm back. I went around walking in my kitchen because I was like, I needed to come in here to get something, but I forgot what. And then I went and took a piss and I was like, oh, I need to go back to my stream. Oh, I was going to get a water. I have water on my desk. Oh shit. I don't know why the fuck you're honking at me. I'm not even on the road. See, that person didn't honk at me. Cheers to that person. I'm gonna pour me a fucking another shot. Cheers. Oh, I think we should talk about something else next. I don't know what we talked about last. So we're God. Yeah, we're going to talk about... Let's talk about anime. So, a really good anime that I really love is Dragon Ball Z. I also love Dragon Ball Super, the original Dragon Ball, and GT's fine. I'm not saying anything bad about GT. It's just, it's not my favorite. And I also don't dislike it enough to say that I hate it. That's fucking Grimgar, Ashes of Illusions. Now I get it, people like Grimgar, but you know, there are people out there that are wrong about everything, okay? Remember, just because you like Grimgar, Ashes of Illusions doesn't mean that you also don't think that vaccinations are bad for you. I know I shouldn't compare anti-vaxxers to people who watch Grimgar, but I mean, they're both wrong. Another good one is My Hero. And I've done a good bit of videos on My Hero Academia on my YouTube channel. Which, by the way, okay, I'm over on the side. If you go to twitch.tv/Supreme Anime, that's me. And you go down here, there's a donate button. Here's my anime channel. Fucking hell. Here's my gaming channel. Here's my Twitter. I don't have my other channel. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'll fix that at the end, okay? The fuck? How did I land up here? Let's over this way. Mike G, why are you doing a road to 200 subscribers? You only have 100. You're like a good bit away from 200. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and end off the recording for YouTube here. And we're going to go check out, see what he's doing over down yonder way on the live stream.